Welcome. We discuss the following topic: acceptance, counter-offer, communication of acceptance, withdrawal of acceptance, termination or modification of contract, ICC Incoterms, terms in relation to mode of transport. Acceptance. Article 18 of the UN Convention on Contracts for the International Sale of Goods provides that acceptance takes place where the recipient of the offer indicates their agreement to its terms. Acceptance may occur in a number of ways. A. By conduct. B. By words. Silence or inactivity does not amount to acceptance. Counter-offer. Article 19 provides that 1. A reply to an offer which purports to be an acceptance but contains additions, limitations or other modifications is a rejection of the offer and constitutes a counter-offer. 2. However, a reply to an offer which purports to be an acceptance but contains additional or different terms which do not materially alter the terms of the offer constitutes an acceptance, unless the offerer, without undue delay, objects orally. Communication of acceptance. Where a time period has been fixed, acceptance must reach the offerer within that period of time. If no time period is fixed, then the acceptance must reach the offerer within a reasonable time. If the offeree can accept the offer by performing an act, without notice to the offerer, the acceptance is effective at the moment the act is performed, provided it is done within any period of time laid down by the offerer. Where the offerer has fixed a period of time for acceptance in either a telegram or a letter, that period begins to run from the moment the telegram is handed in for dispatch or from the date shown on the letter. If no date is shown on the letter, the time runs from the date shown on the envelope. A period of time for acceptance fixed by the offerer by telephone, telex or other means of instantaneous communication, begins to run from the moment that the offer reaches the offeree. Withdrawal of acceptance. Withdrawal of acceptance. An acceptance may be withdrawn if the withdrawal reaches the offerer before or at the same time as the acceptance would have been effective. Termination or modification of contract. A contract may be modified or terminated by the mere agreement of the parties, Article 29. ICC Incoterms. Incoterms is an abbreviation of International Commercial Terms. Incoterms are frequently to be found in international contracts, and they seek to provide a common set of rules for the most often used international terms of trade with the aim of removing confusion over their interpretation. These terms have been published by the International Chamber of Commerce, ICC, since 1936. Incoterms is an abbreviation of International Commercial Terms. Incoterms are frequently to be found in international contracts, and they seek to provide a common set of rules for the most often used international terms of trade with the aim of removing confusion over their interpretation. These terms have been published by the International Chamber of Commerce, ICC, since 1936. Terms in relation to mode of transport. Ex works, EXW, ex works, means that the seller fulfills his obligation to deliver when he has made the goods available at his premises, i.e. works, factory, warehouse, etc., to the buyer. This means that the seller is not responsible for loading the goods onto the buyer's vehicle or for clearing the goods for export, unless otherwise agreed. Free carrier, FCA, means that the seller delivers the goods to the carrier or another person nominated by the buyer at the seller's premises or another named place. The parties are well advised to specify as clearly as possible the point within the named place of delivery, as the risk passes to the buyer at that point. Carriage paid to, CPT, means that the seller delivers the goods to the carrier or another person nominated by the seller at an agreed place, if any such place is agreed between parties, and that the seller must contract for and pay the costs of carriage necessary to bring the goods to the named place of destination. D. Carriage and insurance paid to, CIP, means that the seller delivers the goods to the carrier or another person nominated by the seller at an agreed place, if any such place is agreed between parties, and that the seller must contract for and pay the costs of carriage necessary to bring the goods to the named place of destination. Delivered at terminal, DAT, means that the seller delivers when the goods, once unloaded from the arriving means of transport, are placed at the disposal of the buyer at a named terminal at the named port or place of destination. Terminal includes a place, whether covered or not, such as a quay, warehouse, container yard or road, rail or air cargo terminal. The seller bears all risks involved in bringing the goods to and unloading them at the terminal at the named port or place of destination, including payment of any import duty or customs charges. Delivered duty paid, DDP, means that the seller delivers the goods when the goods are placed at the disposal of the buyer, cleared for import on the arriving means of transport ready for unloading at the named place of destination. The seller bears all the costs and risks involved in bringing the goods to the place of destination and has an obligation to clear the goods not only for export but also for import, to pay any duty for both export and import, and to carry out all customs formalities. Thanks for watching.